Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 90 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and where I get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. It is Saturday, December the 4th, 2021, and it's a gorgeous day out. It's about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It is beautiful blue skies. This tiniest little bit of a breeze out there. It's just gorgeous out. This is perfect weather, in my opinion. If you're a new viewer here, thank you so much for coming here to check me out for the first time. I hope you enjoy it and I hope you stick around and come back to see what else I've been doing lately. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back for another week to see what I'm up to. I'm always so happy to have you come back week after week. I'm so happy to have all of you here. Anyone who takes the time to watch my little podcast makes me so happy. So, what's new? Surgery number 2 is complete. Tendon release surgery to fix a trigger thumb on my right hand, which means I'm out of crafting commission for a while. Oh, I was going to bring a pen and show you how awkwardly I hold a pen right now, or try to hold a pen. So I went in for my surgery on Wednesday morning. It went well. I got called Monday afternoon saying to be there at 7:15 in the morning and that I was scheduled for surgery at 8:10. By about 9 o'clock, 9:15, I was back in the recovery room, waking up, getting the shaking out the cobwebs, and we were on the way not long after that. And we went out for breakfast because I was hungry. I was starving afterwards. And before this, you are not supposed to have anything to eat or drink after midnight the night before. I hadn't had anything to eat since about 6:30 the night before when I had supper, or finished supper. And then I had some water later in the evening, and that was it. I drank more water this time before I went in for the surgery than I did for my left hand, and I think that worked out well, or worked out better. I was a little bit more hydrated. They had less difficulty in getting the vein and getting the IV started. The first time they had a lot of trouble getting the vein. They had to turn me into a bit of a pincushion to get the IV started. Wednesday, one try, they were in, it was good. So, happy for that. And I'm glad that the procedure went well. This is like the heavy bandaging that they sent me home with. I'm to leave this on for 3 to 5 days, so what I'll probably do is take it off on Monday morning. And I'll videotape that again like I did with this hand. If you are not interested in seeing things like that, skip that video. But I will post that sometime on Monday. And then come Monday, what I'll do is I'll just put some gauze on the incision to cover the incision, and then just go back to just wearing the ace bandage or tensor bandage, whatever you call it. I'll keep that on my hand just for protection. It doesn't hurt too badly. It's a little bit tender, but not too bad at all. They sent me home with some painkillers. They clearly do not want to turn me into an addict. They sent me home with 3 oxycodone pills. So I took one Wednesday evening before I went to bed, Thursday evening before I went to bed, and Friday evening before I went to bed. And the rest of the time during the day, I just took extra strength Tylenol, and not an awful lot of that. I took 1 extra strength Tylenol this morning, and the way it's feeling now, I might not take any more till bedtime. We'll see. But it's feeling not bad at all. and I'm excited to get the bandaging off and see what it looks like. I have a little bit more mobility this time compared to the last time. I'm able to, these fingers touch together, which is nice because I'm able to actually use them to, like a little crab claw. I'm able to clasp things with it, so it's beneficial that way. It's very awkward though because I am right-handed, so I'm not able to write much at all. Although I have figured a way to kind of hold the pen between these, wedged along here, and then between these two fingers, and I just kind of like brace it in there and write real wonky. It doesn't work very well, but it's challenging eating things with only my left hand, or doing things with only my left hand. Last night, no, the day, lunchtime yesterday, we had some soup. And usually when I get towards the bottom of a bowl of soup, I'll pick it up and then I'll scoop it up that way, because it's easier to tilt the bowl a bit. Also, I was like, that's not working. I picked up the bowl and I'm like, yeah, I didn't think that one through. That's not gonna work. So it has been a little bit tricky. I am scheduled to get the stitches out on Tuesday, December the 14th at 8:30 in the morning. So once I get the stitches out, I suspect I will be back to crafting. I'll ease into it slowly. I'm not going to go overboard and do too much too fast, the same as I did after this hand. I'll ease back into it slowly and easily. Because I just don't want to strain it while it's still healing. So that's that with the hand. Feels good. It's healing. I assume it's healing nicely. I can't see why it's not healing just as well as the left hand did. So I'm just itchy. I'm itchy. Sorry about that. My hair probably looks a disaster because I haven't been able to shower since I got home from the surgery. And I will shower tomorrow. I'll get my husband to strap a plastic bag, tape a plastic bag over my arm, and I'll be able to get in the shower and get wet and wash my hair and stuff like that. But in the meantime, I'll make do for another day. I'm drinking my Advent tea. I ordered a package of Advent tea, and I've been working my way through it. I'm still only drinking the tea for day number 3. I haven't got to 4 yet, and this is today's tea. It's turmeric, what else is it called? Turmeric Amber Sun. It's not bad. It's an herbal, this one's an herbal tea. It's not too bad. I kind of enjoy it. The first day, day 1 was aged Earl Grey. I really liked that. That one was really nice. And day 2, it's this one called Immune Boost, or Immune Defense. Yeah, Immune Boost. And this one was also a caffeine-free herbal tea. It had echinacea, dandelion. It had all kinds of weeds and plants in it. This one was okay. I wasn't overly crazy about it. To me, it tasted like I was drinking grass. To me, it tasted very earthy and green tasting. It really did taste like someone had gone out and mowed their lawn, picked up the clippings and plopped them in a teapot. I didn't mind it, but I'm not going to be in a huge hurry to continue and to buy more of it. The aged Earl Grey, absolutely. I really enjoyed that one. So here is this little gluey booger things on it. So here's what the packaging looks like. So it comes folded up in this kind of accordion style. And there's one tea bag for each day. Today, day 4 is, where did I see it? I might have that later today. Might have it tomorrow morning. Gunpowder green. That's today's tea. And that's like a lighter caffeine tea. But I'm looking forward to it. There's white roses, rooibos. There's a couple of those. That's not my favorite. There's golden chai, ginger lemon, orange spice, hibiscus. There's a lot more on the herbal blend. A chamomile lemon, breakfast blend, Moroccan mint, Chinese breakfast, dandelion detox, jasmine green. I'm not a fan of jasmine tea. It tastes like I'm drinking flowers. I think it tastes like flowers. Matcha toasted something, honey bush. So I'm eager to try these out, and so far I'm enjoying them. But I really do, I like tea. I'm a big fan of drinking tea. So let's get that reassembled so I don't lose things. And I'm keeping all the bags for now, the packages, because what I plan on doing is I plan on taping each of them into my journal and jotting down notes about what I thought of them. I've done that in the past where I've ordered an Advent tea calendar, and I kept track of what I thought of each of the teas, what the flavors were like, what I liked about it, and so on. So I'm going to do the same with this one, so that down the road, if I want to get more of a particular type, I know which ones I really liked. And it's fun to look back on. So for now, what I'm doing is I'm just keeping a Word document where I just type down day 1, the name of the tea, and just I type in a few notes. Sort of pecking with a couple fingers on this hand and mostly with my left hand, so it's not going that great. So, but okay, we're almost 15 minutes in and I haven't talked anything about any crafting. So granted, this week has been a very condensed week since I talked to you last Saturday. I did a little bit more crafting Saturday evening and Sunday. Monday I was at work all day, and Tuesday I had a huge to-do list of all sorts of things I wanted to get done while I still had full use of both hands. So I didn't get a chance to get a lot of things done craft-wise this past week. Although what I did manage to do is I finished my Wren sideways shawl. Now this is a pattern by Claire M. It's not 100% done because I did not get a chance to get the tails woven in. So I might try doing that with my left hand. Maybe not. We'll see. I might try it with my left hand to see how that works, but otherwise I will hang on to it and I will tuck in the tails a little bit later once I'm functional again. So here it is. I think I showed pictures of it on my Whip It Down week. It's about 67 inches long. And I forgot to measure how wide it is. I'll take a measure of that. I guess about 1.5 feet. I guess it's probably maybe in the 16-inch wide range. But I really like it. I like the yarn. It's a pretty color. It's the color Royal, and I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. So I just got a basic acrylic yarn. As I mentioned before, I made this for a young teenager at our church who's going through a rough patch, and I want to give it to her for a Christmas gift. And I don't want to saddle her family with worrying about how to take care of it. And I don't want to worry that I've given them a 100% pure wool non-superwash scarf and that the first time it needs to go through the wash, it gets tossed in the washer and dryer, and now it fits her Barbie doll, or her younger sister's Barbie doll. So I thought, I'm just going to use an acrylic. It's easy wash and wear, easy care for. It can be loved and abused and it'll be fine. So that's why I opted for that particular yarn. This past week I didn't bring it over here with me. I did a tiny bit of work on my Sunday cardigan, and by tiny bit of work I think I did 3 or 4 rounds. That's it. Or rounds, rows on it. So I'm still not quite at the part where I need to start doing the ribbing at the hem, but it's not too far. It probably only has a few more inches to go and I'll be ready to do the bottom of the sweater. I am not going to be picking that one up for at least another 2 weeks. When I won't be working on it while I still have the bandaging on. I won't be working on anything while I still have all this bandaging on. And then once I get the stitches out and everything is, I leave everything open, there's always, for at least a week to a week and a half, there's the little rough edges to the skin where the incision was made. And I do not want to get mohair fluffies stuck in those little bits of jagged skin. So I will not be working on that probably until later in December. We shall see, but it probably won't be until sometime later in September when I start working on that again. So did I say September? December. It won't be till close to Christmas. So the stitches come out on the 14th. By Christmas, the rough edges are probably going to be settled down and it'll be fine for working with mohair fluffies by that point. I have not touched Shawlography since I last saw you. I spent the majority of my free time I spent finishing my Ren Sideways shawl. And I took the markers out. I wasn't thinking. I took the markers out so you can't see how much progress I made, but I easily added probably close to 2 feet of length onto it since I last saw you. I ended up using 2 skeins and probably about a third of the third skein. I still need to weigh the final skein and get a better measure of exactly how much yarn I used on that, but I'm probably going to guess probably 2 1/3 skeins. What I have also started since I last saw you is my Advent scarf. And the same thing that happened with my Shawlography, I signed up for a mystery knit along and then I have surgery on a hand. And I'm at least 2 weeks behind everyone else. So same thing is true with the Advent scarf. It's a mystery pattern. It's a pattern put out by Trisha Weatherston, and it is a kind of a side project from Sock Madness. And this is something that Trisha has been doing for several years now. I think 11 years? 10, 12 years? Somewhere in that range. Every year, beginning of December, she puts out an Advent scarf and releases 1 clue each day until Christmas. So this year it's going to be made, all of this stack here, these are previous scarves of hers that I've made. This year it is going to be a cowl and not a straight scarf. It has the option of 2 different lengths, either the long or short. I opted for the short one. Because I figured it'd probably take me half the amount of time to knit the thing. And I knew I was going to be short on time. So the first clue came out December 1st. And I was off to the surgical center. So the only part I had a chance to work on is the cast on. She gave us the instructions for how much to cast on, how many stitches to cast on, using a provisional cast on. So this green is a crochet cast on that I did. And then I'm partway through doing the second round of knit all the way around. And that's as far as I got. So that was the second round of knit is actually the first row of the first clue for December 1st. But I hadn't finished that before I had to leave for my surgery. So that's all I have. It looks like a green and white octopus right now, and it's pretty much impossible to see much of anything on it yet. So again, the green is the provisional cast on, which I will be pulling out at the end so that it can be joined, folded in half. And the pattern looks like it's going to be a really cool pattern this year. It is using a combination of, some sections are going to be stitches and designs coming out of a Japanese stitch dictionary, and then other portions are going to be Fair Isle color work. So it's going to be really neat. I've seen up to clue 4 now. I'm not going to bother trying to keep this a secret and a mystery to myself. Forget that nonsense. No, I don't want to keep it a surprise this long, especially where I'm not going to be able to start knitting until probably the 14th, 15th, maybe not till the 16th. So I'm going to be well behind, and I want to have a rough idea of what colors and what color combinations I plan on using. So the pattern called for, I think, 7 colors, and most of it can be done with scraps. The Japanese stitches, I'm going to be using a white yarn or a bare fingering weight yarn. And then for the remaining colors, I just have a bunch of scraps. All of these scraps are fingering weight yarns that I dyed myself, and it's just leftovers I have from various projects. So I think I have 7 or 8 colors here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I have 7 colors plus the white. So I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to map out the colors. I might use this blue as my main Fair Isle color, and use the other, particularly the green, pink, and orange, and some white also, as some of my contrast colors on the blue. Or I might use some of these lighter or variety, like this is like this tealy blue, there's more of this bright blue, and a gray blue. One-handed, I can't get into this bag to show you this better, so I apologize if it's kind of hard to see in the bag. But that's what I have for my Advent scarf this year. So as I said, I'm going to be behind right from the get-go. Same thing happened when I did the mystery shawl knit along this fall. I was behind right from the get-go. But this hand is working well. I'm super happy with it. I don't have any pain in it. It's all good now. Same is going to hold true for this puppy once the healing is finishing. So, no regrets. It had to be done, and I'm happy it is done. What else was I going to tell you about? Oh, I had been hoping to do Vlogmas this year. I actually had wanted to do Vlogtober, but I knew I wouldn't be able to film, and I wouldn't have much going on for about 2 weeks with my first hand surgery. And then for Vlogmas, I love doing Vlogmas. I love watching Vlogmas videos, and I love creating Vlogmas videos. That's not gonna happen either. So between Vlogtober and Vlogmas and the mystery shawl and the mystery advent scarf, coordinating with these two, things just did not work in my favor this year for either of those. So I'm hoping that next year I'll be able to do Vlogtober, and also then my Whip It Down week at Thanksgiving, and then Vlogmas in December. This year, it's not gonna happen. I just figured I'm just gonna film and say, here's what happened on the 1st. This is what's going on the 2nd, nothing. 3rd, nothing. The 4th, nothing. So I just thought I grudgingly skipped it this year. And I am missing doing it, but I am enjoying watching other people do their Vlogmas videos. So I'll live vicariously through them. So I think that's about all for this week. Next week, I will not have a regular knitting video because I won't be able to knit anything or crochet anything between now and next Saturday. I can touch my finger almost to my thumb, but not enough. I've got really no functionality in my thumb other than this tiny little wiggle that I can do. So I won't be crafting anything for the next, till the 14th at the earliest. But what I am planning on doing, sometime over the next few days or sometime later this week, I am going to drag out all of my knitting needles and all of my crochet hooks. And I am going to finally sort through and organize all of them. A couple years ago, I bought a bunch of pencil cases. They have the little screen, the plastic sheet on the front, and have the 3 holes with reinforcements so that they can be kept in a binder if you want. And I bought a bunch of them at Walmart, I think 2 years ago. It's probably been 2 years ago. For 25 cents a piece, with the plan of sorting all of my knitting needles into those. Now I finally am going to sit down, shut up, and get it done, because I have not done it yet. So this week coming up, I'm going to videotape my progress doing that, show you what I have by way of different knitting needles and crochet hooks and all my other notions. I have one of those little cardboard decorative boxes with a bunch of stuff in. I have a drawer over, like one of those calyx types. It's not an IKEA cabinet, but it's one of those type of drawer, cabinet drawers. I've got a bunch of knitting needles in there, mostly circulars. Most of them have come out of their packaging and I have no idea what size a lot of them are, so I'm going to have to try to get the packages, and I'm going to see if I want to keep them in the packages or if I just want to get certain sizes into the little pencil case holders. Stay tuned, we'll decide that coming up this week. But I want to get going on getting that all organized, and I'm going to videotape that and I will post that video next week. And then in 2 weeks, whatever that Saturday is, 18th I think of December, I should be back to a regular sit down and talk to you video where I hope to have some progress on my Advent scarf to show you. We shall see. But other than that, that's about it. Not a lot to show you. More time spent yakking about random non-knitting related things. But my wonky hand. So that's about it. I'm going to stop talking now. And I'm gonna go get the editing done and get this posted for you guys so that you can see what I've been up to. Alrighty, take care everyone. I was gonna go, yeah, I can wave with this hat. sort of. Anyways, take care everyone, and I will see you guys next week with all my knitting needles. Alrighty, bye now.